Hello, my tubies. It's me, Sheila Truelove, Auntie Sheila Truelove. And today I want to talk about, are you more than a booty call to the narcissist? And we're going to listen to what I like to say is my dad, Robert C. Blake. And he has a segment, Don't Be a Booty Call. And he helps you to recognize when you're nothing but a booty call and when you are more than a booty call. He also have numerous books that he has written, and I would recommend that you go online and look up, type in Robert C. Blake and look at all the books that he has written. I have like 3 of his books or 4 of his books that I purchased myself, and they have been very useful and very informative and helped me greatly. And I know that they will help you as well. I always see him as like my dad. He kind of looks like my dad, except for my dad had a little more hair. Uh, Before we get started, I have had numerous phone calls, and I can't keep up with all the calls. But if you want to contact me, please go into your Play Store and download the Marco Polo app. It's an excellent app where we video text each other. It's like video texting. Instead of writing texts, you just video the text. It's quicker. You can talk as long as you want. You can talk for hours. And all I do is listen and listen. And then I got a chance to give you the best feedback that I can. And we can go back and forth and talk with each other all day if you want. Um, that's the best way to get in contact with me. You can go on YouTube. They show you how to use it. It's really simple, very simple. And I think you're going to absolutely love it. So let's get started. Here we are. Woo! Yes.
That I'm antiquated because I believe a man is supposed to take care of his woman. I don't care how much money your woman make. A man is supposed to have his mind set on taking care of his woman.
Did you hear what he just said there? I don't care how much money a woman makes. A man is supposed to be having his mind set on taking care of his woman. This is something I told my ex-narcissist, my ex-husband, who was nothing but a narc. He said, well, you work, you have a job. I don't care how much money I make. You still have your role to play, and I still have mine. And like you hear Pastor Blake here, he's making it very clear. Like my video I just made, the other one previous to this, on being abused. Stop letting these narcissistic men abuse you. You can look at that video. I made that today as well. No. And it goes to show that what I'm saying, I'm right on target. I'm right on target. Let's listen further to Robert C. Blake.
Let's talk. I mean, this may be a bit crude, but I mean, I don't know no other way to say it. I want to talk about booty calls.
Yes. Yes. Woo!
I hope everybody's doing well. I want to talk. I mean, this may be a bit crude, but I mean, I don't know no other way to say it. I want to talk about booty calls. And I know some of you all probably might get offended at that language, but a lot of y'all is getting offended by it. You making them or you answering them. That's the tragedy of religion. It makes you such a hypocrite. You can't even be helped. You're so busy putting on an act, you can't really get real. And booty calls are real. You got people that's...
This is what I was talking about also in terms of the churches. Like Robert Blake says, you have a lot of the churches that are so fake and so phony. These are the topics they need to be talking about. These are the things that they need to be addressing because this is real. This is what's going on out there. Booty calls. Teaching your daughters and your sons how not to be booty calls because you have men that are booty calls too. The woman is calling him around 10 o'clock or she's calling him at 11, asking him, what you doing? How you doing? You want to come over? Yeah, he's nothing but a booty call. So this works both ways. But like he says, you have a lot of people in the churches, they don't want to talk about it. No, you need to talk about this. This is one of the reasons I like Joyce Myers as well. This woman, the topics, look at the topics that this woman chooses. Like the church that I was going to previously, it's boring. Most of it is boring. You gotta like put toothpicks in your eyes to keep them woke. It's boring. You have people who are not professional speakers, they're all in training, and they put you to sleep because of the topics they choose to talk about. We have to talk about topics that we're facing right now in the real world.
Right now, they're planning to make a booty call to you, and it's a matter of where you at in terms of your own personal self-worth and self-esteem that's going to determine if you're going to answer that call or not. You know, it is what it is. I mean, people make booty calls because they lack self-worth, and people answer booty calls because they lack self-worth. People just don't have a clue as it pertains to purpose and value and God's plan. So when people don't know who they are, we typically bury ourselves in materialism. Well, we bury ourselves first of all in sex and materialism, and and that gives us a temporary sense of value. You take a man that doesn't really know who he is and does not really have a high self-esteem. The way he subsidizes that empty self-esteem is he tries to have sex with as many women as he can, because the world says to him that you can subsidize your empty self-esteem and your poor self-worth by having sex with women. And
That's an excellent point. So you know that all these men who are sitting up here trying to sleep around with this woman, this thought, that hoe, this prostitute, this whatever, they have no self-esteem. And you think about anyone who's going to put up with the booty call. I'm just coming over here so I could just bust a clit or bust a nut or what have you. I mean, no. Because I could take care of myself if it comes time for an orgasm or bust this or bust that. I could do that for myself. And if I do it myself, at least I know it's a guaranteed orgasm. Whereas when you're with another person making a booty call, that's not even guaranteed. At least for women. Men, that's guaranteed. That's almost guaranteed every single time. I've never had no man be with me and he didn't have an orgasm. I don't know how many women who have ever been with a man who didn't have a orgasm. But for women, that's not guaranteed all the time. So that's not a win-win.
if women that you have sex with them, it means that you're the man. The reality is that when a woman lets an empty man have sex with her, it just means you have two empty people who are both searching for identity and purpose. He's searching for it. When a man figures out who he is, he's not running around trying to jump into bed with everybody. He tries to find him a wife, and he goes home to his wife, and he lives for purpose. Anybody that has purpose doesn't have time to be jumping in and out of the bed like a lot of y'all doing.
You notice what he said? When a what? When a man knows who he is, when a man has a sense of purpose, when a man is about something. He's not sitting up here trying to jump from this woman and that woman and whatever. He has a sense of purpose. He is a man meeting all needs. Not a boy, B-O-Y, burden on you. No. And I think that's what majority of women are looking for, a man. I think a lot of the women of today are getting sick and tired of these boys and sick and tired of these children. They're children. And I can't speak for all the women. I can just speak for myself. I know I'm sick and tired of it. And I am not putting up with crap. Like I said, I want a man who is on God's team because that's the only way I'm going to trust him. He has to be funny and he has got to be smarter than me. And those are the three things I'm looking for. It looks like I'm going to be single for a long time. But that's okay. Because if there's someone out there for me, my Heavenly Father is going to I'm not going to search for no man. I'm not looking for no man. God will put him right where I am. When God sees that there's someone good enough for his daughter, then he will bring him to me. I'm not going looking for nothing. And I like going out on dates, and if somebody offered to take me out, yes, I will do all of that and all that fun stuff and the dating apps just so you can meet different people. I'm not searching for nothing. Actually, I sort of everything with a friendship basis in mind. Let's get back to our Robert Blake.
And y'all don't, y'all don't want us to talk about this stuff, and the preacher's scared to talk about it. But y'all sitting up in church with all this shouting and all these scriptures and everything, and just, I've been there and done that, so I'm not judging.
I like what he said. The preachers don't want to talk about all this, but yet they got their Bible, they're shouting and screaming and sitting up here talking about this and talking about that. No, let's talk about the things that we should be focusing on. Things like this. Topics that Joyce Myers have. All this other stuff that you be learning in these congregations and all this boring stuff, putting everybody to sleep. It's not helping people. A lot of people are falling away. They need to be talking about booty calls and thoughts and how to conduct yourself like a gentleman and telling men how to be providers for their family and telling men to keep their penis in their pants until they're married, until they find wife material. If you can't imagine this woman being the mother of your children, you should not be having sex with her. If you can't see this woman as your wife, you should keep your penis in your pants. That's what we need to be talking about at these congregations. But they're not. But thank God, thank Jehovah for people like Robert Blake.
I've been this person, so I'm not judging. I'm never judgmental because I'm not perfect.
Thank you.
I'm not perfect.
Thank you.
And I never pretend to be.
I agree.
I don't have it all together. But those things that I've overcome, I try my best at least to shine the light for people and to say, hey, look here. There's a ditch right there. Don't fall in it. And so since I've been here and since I've done this, why would I sit and just allow you to just continue with your frivolous, pointless, useless ways? And
I agree with him on that too, which is one of the things that I strive to do. Sometimes people say, well, it seems like you're judging me or you're trying to think you're better than other people. No, but I'm not perfect. I never profess to be perfect. But if I could shed light on something for you, I have a flashlight to show you that there's a hole right there that you're getting ready to walk into. And I must try to help you avoid falling into that ditch or there's a train coming that you don't see, but I see it from way down, but you don't see it. And I'm trying to help you avoid getting hit. Should the person not be appreciative? Opposed to sitting around saying, well, you think you're a know-it-all or you think you're above everybody. No, come on now. See, those are the type of people, I don't have time for those type of people. God put us here for a reason. We're supposed to love each other, help each other, and try to help guide each other in the right path. And if I've had some experiences that could help you avoid falling into a ditch, I think it's wise to, at least listen. At least.
And waste your life because that's ultimately what you're doing. In 1 Corinthians 6:18, it says, flee fornication, run from it. Every sin that a man does is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sins against his own body. You're sinning against your own body when you're living outside of the sexual parameters that God prescribes. And temptation is real. You have people that turn you on sexually, but you better know how to be turned off. You better know how to yield to the spirit and not the flesh.
That's a good point. You have a lot of people that excite you and turn you on, but they turn you on. You better know how to turn yourself off. And with men, the best way to do that is stop looking. When you see some woman, a thought walking down the street with her butt jiggling all over the place, treat it like Sodom and Gomorrah. If you look back, you're going to turn to a pillow of salt. Imagine that. This is what I was trying to get my ex-narc to understand and try to do so he would stop disrespecting me. Every time you see some woman's butt big, he didn't care if he was on a man. He didn't care. You got a big behind, he couldn't keep his eyes in his head. Constantly disrespecting me. So I said, well, if you feel that this is a problem for you, just imagine when you look at that woman, She's Sodom and Gomorrah. And remember how God told Lot and his family, don't look back, because if you look back, there are consequences? So I told him, imagine when you see her, you already see her, she's half naked. Look away immediately. Look away immediately and don't look back, because if you look back, like in Sodom and Gomorrah, imagine that you're going to be turned into a pillar of salt. You're going to die. Imagine that. You're going to lose God's favor. You're going to lose Jesus Christ's favor. That should help you to, deal with that wandering eye. But since he was not a spiritual man, and he was putting up a facade, pretending to be, of course that didn't work for him. And he was a narcissist.
Because, the list is too numerous for us to even count or name of the people who abandoned their destiny, forfeited their future for a few moments of pleasure, because somebody intentionally enticed them and whispered in their ear or called and said the right words on the telephone and got you to respond in a sexual way, and you're going to lose your future, you're going to lose your life, you're going to possibly lose your health, lose your family. You're going to lose all of this over a booty call? God.
You see what I'm saying? When I said I need a man who's smarter than me, I don't want no man who's going to sit up there, you're going to lose everything just for something that takes, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I can't deal with that. I have got to have a man who's got common sense. And that's what I mean by someone who's smarter than me. And like Robert Blake says, you're going to lose everything just for this fly by night, some damn booty call? Really? How does that help your marriage? How does that help any situation? It makes things worse, because now you have to try to have a conscience before God and Christ. And God ain't going for that garbage. Nobody's perfect. No, you don't have to be perfect to keep your private parts in your pants, because you have so many imperfect people. All these imperfect people who are managing to be faithful and who are managing to keep their private parts in their pants. Are they perfect? No, they're not. No, they're not. But they're doing it. Let me play that again.
Oh, man. Ain't nothing that good.
Hold up. Let me see what he said. Hold up.
Because somebody intentionally enticed them and whispered in their ear or called and said the right words on the telephone and got you to respond in a sexual way, and you're going to lose your future, you're going to lose your life, you're going to possibly lose your health, lose your family, you're going to lose all of this over a booty call? God, oh, man, gee, Monetti, they ain't made nothing that good. I ain't mean to say that. But hey, it's the truth. They ain't made nothing that good.
Gee, Monetti, did you hear him? They ain't made nothing that good. I ain't never met no penis that was worth all that. Never. And I don't think there's a vagina out there, or a blowjob, or a hand job, or a butt job that's worth all that. I don't think so. I've never met it. It doesn't exist.
Hey, they ain't made none that good. God ain't made none that good.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. He ain't made no woman that fine. He ain't made no man that handsome for you to just throw your life away. You gonna just flush your life down the toilet for peace? That's what you call it, a piece. It's not even a hole. You gonna flush all that down the toilet for a piece?
That's right. Yeah, he's funny. Go ahead, Bill.
You mean to tell me I'm gonna take 36 years, 37, however long it's been, years of ministry, and I'm gonna flush that down the toilet because a woman is fine, and because she want me? I'm gonna be that stupid to go and just flush that toilet, put my life in that toilet, and flush that toilet? See, a lot of y'all, your life is in the toilet right now. You haven't flushed yet. The Lord had me to come on here to warn you. Don't flush. Don't flush. Don't flush. Your life is in that toilet. Now, oh my God, my thing is dying. I got to hurry up. Sexual sin is an injustice to yourself. Because you do a few things when you commit sexual sin. When you answer booty calls, be it fornication or adultery. When you answer booty calls, you expose your body. Just check out how many people. I know we don't talk about HIV and AIDS anymore. We got so many other topics that the media wants to emphasize, but it ain't going nowhere. Just because they ain't talking about it don't mean it's gone anywhere. People are still catching AIDS. People are still dying from AIDS. And with
And that's very real. You know, my ex fiance, who I've been away from him for a long time now, but he's in the hospital now dying of AIDS. Just because they don't talk about it, don't mean it's not happening. I've known a couple of people who are was in a program, you know, in rehab or whatever the hell, trying to get their lives together, and it's like their lives are in the toilet, and it seemed like they flushed. I've known several people who have died of AIDS, even with all the modern technology and all the medicines that they have. You know, everybody talk about Magic Johnson this, Magic Johnson that, whatever. At the same time, you still have people dying from AIDS. And you have so many people still contracting HIV and got to take all these medications. Or there's one pill or two pills they take, but they have like 5 or 10 different medications in that one pill, making these people sick as a dog, diarrhea. They can't hardly travel anymore. They can't go too far because they're usually sick from all the medication. That medication is radiation that you're putting in your body, you know. So keep on, you keep playing games with these booty calls and laying around with this person and that person, you know. This is no joke.
you jump your happy self, your horny happy self up in the bed with people, with random people that God has not ordained for your life, it's called marriage. It's called marriage. You are exposing your body. You are also polluting your spirit. You open yourself up for the involvement of demonic spirits. This is why soul ties are so hard to break. It's because there are demonic powers behind the soul tie. It's not all physical. The people that many of you all are caught up in soul ties with weren't even great sexual partners. They were horrible. But for some reason, you're locked in on them. It's because you open yourself up. This person opens you up to spirits. Not only do you expose your body, you pollute your spirit, but also you incarcerate your soul. You create that lock. You create that lock. Now, what is a booty call? Because I only have like 4 minutes of 4% rather of battery on my iPad. A booty call is usually a late night summons. It is often made via telephone, text message. These days, inboxes, DMs, and it is a call to arrange sexual liaisons on an as-need basis. This person, some of you all are answering booty calls where the person only calls for you once a month. They have you in a rotation, and they call for you once a month, and because your self-esteem is broken, you answer the call.
That's definitely interesting point that he made. I'm gonna share that with my girlfriend, who is dealing with somebody who, you know, he claims that he wants to woman be in a relationship. At the same time, he don't call for 2 or 3 or 4 days, and he pops up with her every now and again. Now, have I ever had someone over at my home at 10 o'clock, 11? Yeah, I have. But it wasn't for no sexual purposes because I have a guest room. That person sleeps in the guest room. I had the person over at 10 o'clock. I was busy or whatever, or they got off work late. They worked at like 9 o'clock and got off at 9:30. So I would say, come on over to the house. And then we would have dinner, or we would go out to dinner. They would come and take me out to dinner, and we would come back here, sit and talk for a minute, and then they would go to the guest room that I had before I had my roommate, and I would be in my room. There was no booty call going on here. I'm not a prostitute. I'm not no goddamn. I'm not. I told you, I'm a lady. I'm a lady. Now, have I ever had sex before marriage? Yeah, I have. I have. So, like I said, I'm in no position to judge anyone. At the same time, it was always relationships with me, and my relationships have the shortest relationship I've ever had was 5 years. That was Robert Cruz. Everything else has been 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, like that. I don't do booty calls. But I do like company sometime at night, or there has been times when I have slept in the same bed with a man and nothing went down. You just want somebody to hug or cuddle, or you want to just have somebody to wake up to in the morning. Like I'll have that usually on a Friday, and then I have someone to wake up to on Saturday, and then I make the breakfast and we talk and we have whatever. So I have done that. But when it comes to booty calling, that's not happening. Not here.
David made a booty call in 2 Samuel 11, 2 through 5. For the sake of time, I won't read it, but go and read it in your leisure. 2 Samuel 11, 2 through 5, David calls for a woman by the name of Bathsheba, and he sends his servants to go get her. They bring her, they sleep together. She's married, so it was fornication. I mean, it was adultery. She married, they sleeping together. She gets pregnant. David has to, create this conspiracy. Well, he has to create this plan to get rid of her husband. The husband won't sleep with her, so David can't blame the baby on the man. David eventually has to kill the man. It creates just all kinds of drama and problems. Booty calls are a lot of work and a lot of unnecessary problems. Booty calls are a distraction. They take you away from purpose. They stop you from achieving your goals for a few moments of what you call pleasure. Booty calls are private affairs that may lead to public shame. In fact, about it, you have to know that the devil plans on it leading to public shame for you. Don't you think that the devil is just arranging this stuff for you to do this stuff, and that he does not have a plan at the front of his mind as it pertains to how he's going to pull a cover off you and shame you and the God you serve?
It's important. Like he said about David and Bathsheba when he sent for Bathsheba so he could have a booty call with Bathsheba. Look at all the problems that booty call caused. It caused a lot of problems. David had Bathsheba's husband put on the front line because she had became pregnant. So she had David, Bathsheba's husband, put on the front line in the army so he could be shot down and killed. And because David did such a low down, dirty, rotten thing, David's household was never the same. All the rest of his life, he had nothing but trouble, trouble, trouble in his household. And it all started from what? A booty call.
Man is
Hold up.
tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust hath conceived, it brings forth sin, and sin, when it is finished with you, brings forth death. Now, who answers the booty call? One sincerely searching for love, but deceived by the lust, and in need of a self-esteem boost. Now, the thing you have to understand, if you're the person that's answering the booty call, the thing you have to understand is this: sex does not mean love, nor does it create love where there is none. You cannot make a person love you through sex.
That's right.
And because they have sex with you does not mean that they love you.
That's right.
Just go to Genesis 29, 31 through 34, and ask Leah. Jacob hated Leah. He loved Rachel, but the Bible says he kept making babies with her.
Isn't that a good point? Just because somebody's having sex with you, it don't mean that they love you. Well, that's a good one too with Jacob and Leah. Jacob, he didn't love Leah, but yet he kept having sex with her, and it was the other sister that he wanted. That's the one that he loved, the one that he wasn't touching sexually. Let me hear that again. I forgot her name. What is her name? Wait.
Yet she kept having children.
Yep.
A person.
He wanted Rachel. He didn't want Leah, but he was sexing her up. So that goes to show sex doesn't equate love at all. Not even a little.
Can have sex with you and can't stand your guts. In fact, about it, there are some men that can have sex with you and are not even attracted to you physically. They're just using you in the moment.
Thank you.
They're using you as a tool to satisfy their longings. I'm on Facebook. I don't want.
Yeah. They can't even stand you. They don't even like you. They don't like the way you look. They're just using you. And what do we call those type of men or people? Narcissists. They don't have any empathy. They don't have any compassion or concern about how they may be hurting you. All they care about is getting their stuff off, like my ex used to say. I don't care as long as I get my stuff off. And I'm like, how could you go about doing things like this? And he says, because I don't care no more. I just don't care no more. I'm like, no, that's not, it's not because you don't care anymore. Because people who don't care anymore commit harry-carry. That's people who don't care anymore. No, what the thing is, you do what you do because you're evil. And you get pleasure out of hurting people and doing low down, dirty, rotten things. It has nothing to do with I just stopped caring altogether. No, because you would have committed suicide if you didn't care anymore.
Thrown off. So who answers the booty call? One sincerely searching for love, but deceived by lust. One that has been captured by a soul tie and can't escape. Romans 7:15 through 19. For that which I do, I allow not. Paul talks there in Romans 7:15 through 19. The stuff I want to do, I don't do. The stuff I don't want to do is the stuff I'm doing. You're confused. You are captured. Your soul is tied up. And then who answers a booty call? One who simply does not know her or his worth.
Thank you.
You're answering these booty calls because you don't know your worth. You don't know your worth.
This is one of the reasons I was sharing with you. I know my worth. I don't let nobody sit up here and use me, and then you think you're going to just leave me with a wet behind and you walk off and leave. No, 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 no. This is why I told you I can't put up with no one abusing me. Talking to me any old kind of way. That's not happening either. Believe me, if you could see my eyes stretching out of my head right now, you'd be like, she's dead serious. Oh, hell no. You're not going to talk to me any old kind of way. You're not going to abuse me. Use me for a booty call. I'm not putting up with none of it. Because I know my worth. I know that I'm a good woman. And you probably know that you're a good woman too. So are you.
You don't know your worth. I'm going to call you too, Sister Linnell. Sister Hill, I'm sorry, baby. And number 4, and I'm out of here. How do you break the cycle? How do you break the booty call cycle? Because some of y'all on the booty call cycle. Some of y'all are on the booty call cycle. And the Lord got me on here this afternoon to get you off the booty call cycle. You just cycling. You just cycling.
Oh
You
my
on
God.
the booty call cycle.
It's very funny. I love
And then
him.
you need to get your behind up off that booty call cycle. You too much for this. You just get your behind off that, man. What is wrong with you? You got too much knowledge. You have too much future. You have too much grace on your life, and you gonna submit to being a booty call, and then at the same time at the altar talking about God give me a husband. You think God gonna send a husband up into your life with the kind of mess you got going on now? You can't get no husband because you always got the wrong people occupying his space. As long as you got these booty calls going on, you ain't getting no husband, and you're not getting no wife. God is not gonna submit his child to that kind of dysfunction. You got.
Now you notice what he said. There's no way you could be sitting up here doing booty calls, doing the kind of crap that you do, and expect God to send you a husband or a wife. Now there's some people who would say, I can argue that because I've done booty calls and all this, and I end up getting married. I end up getting me a wife, and I got me a husband at the same time. But did God send that person? You know, Satan is a god too, with a small g. And the Bible says when a person gets married, what God has put together, let no one put asunder, or let no one try to tear apart. What God has put together. God haven't put 90% of these marriages together. God didn't put these marriages together. Because when God puts something together, it's successful and it works. Look at the divorce rate. Did God put these marriages together? God didn't put my marriages together. Hell no. Satan put these things together. That's why they fell apart. But you live and you learn. And I've learned.
You got to purify your life. You need to get this stuff out of your life. Some stuff is not going to happen for you as long as you're on that booty call cycle. Lestine, God bless you, girl. Mary J, it's good to see you. Tamika. Yeah, Paulina. Boy, y'all coming in here today, huh?
These are live guys.
Yes. Now let me shut this down. James 4, how do you break the cycle? James 4, 7 through 10. Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted, and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. So it's easy. You know, it's easy. Really, it's easy. The biggest struggle you have with breaking soul ties and coming out of these booty call situations is that most of y'all just don't want to pursue God.
Thank you.
If you really had a heart to pursue God as much as you have a mind to pursue the booty calls, you could break that like that. I'm
That's the number one way to break the booty call. A lot of people just don't want to pursue God. Just like when I'm dating someone, like there was this guy that I was dating, his name is Steve, and I liked Steve. I did. I really did. The only reason why I didn't pursue it, and I still can if I want to, he's still available to me. Okay? He's right across the street from me. Anytime I want Steve, trust and believe, I can have Steve. I could be married tomorrow. Only reason why is I know because I kind of no, just no. There has to be an attraction somewhat. But the thing I like about Steve is if I say, are you willing to go to church with me? He's like, hell yeah. He will go to church with me every single Sunday. Every single Sunday. And that part of him I like. I like the fact that when I go over to his place or he comes over to my place, sometimes I feel lonely or whatever, and I could call him because he's right across the street. Or I could go over to his place when I get off work. I could just stop right at his house. So that's company. It's companionship, and it's someone who talks spiritual things with me. You know, so I like him. It's just that, he's older, which that's no problem because he's an ex-marine. God, I'm so like into Marines. I love them. They're just so his stories he tells is so interesting. He's interesting. He's Caucasian, He's not Italian. I like Italians, and I think he's Irish, and that's kind of not my thing. You know what I'm saying? But he's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart. He's older. He's 70, but he doesn't look 70. He could pass for a good 50. He could pass for 60, maybe 60. He's functioning. He moves about. He's whatever. He's a vet. He got a good income. Believe that. He got all kind of benefits. So that would definitely be an excellent provider. He would definitely be an excellent. He goes in his pocket and spend money. He treats me like a lady. And the thing that I like most about him is he's willing to go to church with me. He's always willing to go to church. You know. But anyway, that's the best way to break the booty calls, as Robert Blake said, is you have to be willing to turn your life over to God. Just pick up your Bible. Find yourself somebody who's on God's team. Not a fanatic, because I can't stand fanatics. That's why I don't like religious people. I like spiritual people. I stay away from religious people because they're phony. They wear a mask. And you have to put on a mask when you're around them. And I'm a real person. So find yourself someone who's spiritual, someone who loves and values Jehovah God and Jesus Christ, and you'll find that breaking the cycle of the booty call, it's a breeze. It's a breeze, honey. A drop in the hat. Easy to do. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This is your Auntie Sheila True Love. Don't forget to download the app Marco Polo so we can talk. You find my phone number. So you could always put my phone number in the Marco Polo if you want to find me. Or type in Sheila True Love, whatever. Just go on YouTube. It'll show you how to use the Marco Polo. It's very easy. I think you're going to love it. I really do. And that way we could talk on a regular basis. Because sometimes people need people to talk to. And like I told you, I am working towards being a life coach. So part of being a life coach is being a good listener and knowing how to help you to solve your own problems and situations. Or if you need my advice and you ask, I'm one girl who loves doing research. So it's not a problem for me. Just let me know what's up, what you need, and we can make this happen. Why do I do all of that? Because that's what God put us on this earth to do. To help each other, to love each other, to guide each other, to build each other up, to encourage each other, to motivate and inspire each other. And that's what I try my utmost to do. And number one reason is because I love you so much with the highest of agape love. So don't forget, send me a Marco Polo. You always have a choice. Choose wisely. Until next time, goodbye for now.